Cool. So I can tell this because they're both running double bubble on Gib, and that's pretty much very common in
Yeah.
scrims. But double bubble's good here. You guys TP across the bridge, I presume. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Then we switch to the tracer, I'm also presuming.
Yep.
Okay, cool. God, I scrim way too much, man. Okay, cool. We look at Zarya gameplay now. You're already on 5% ult charge, so I presume you hit like a right
Right
click
click
or
across.
something.
Yeah, and the echo sticky TP, so I doubled it.
Oh, nice. That was a nice. It wasn't. Wait, it wasn't your. Okay, cool. Your monkey
Yeah.
went a bit too aggressive.
Yeah, we
But
also use jump to engage.
in terms of your bubble, it was good, but it was just your monkey's engagement that was quite poor. So your
Yeah,
bubble
it's
was
kind of.
fine. Like his jump to engage would have been fine, even if he was to just stop here and deal damage from the front line and then just sort of like drop down or something, soft reset, and just coordinate another soft dive. But the fact that he tried to hard into the back line sort of cucked both of you, but it's alright.
Yeah.
That's not anything to do with you. You're doing your job fine here.
I walk over, try and save him, but I can't.
That's fine. Now back up. Well played. That disengagement and that engagement was perfect. You can take space here. I have no issue with what you're doing now. It's worth bubbling that. Yeah, back up. Nice. Because he was so low, a lot of like Zarya's, especially in Diamond, would have tried chasing that. But I like how you sort of backed up.
Damn, you know that
Um,
makes
Shit.
you fucking toxic, right?
Shit.
Just chill the fuck out.
Shit.
no, no, no. Wait, what?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, no, I feel like that was fine. You backed up a sec and then you went forward again. Um, that's natural considering like the actual fight itself. Your team's getting picks, and I know the sim died, but like we're still up. We're still up right now. Anna is here. Anna is probably safe.
Yeah.
No one can contest her, so don't worry about her.
Then.
One thing I like looking at is the comparison between your ult charge. In comparison to their ult charge, you are gaining ult a lot quicker than their Zarya, which is good. That suggests to me that you are also a higher average charge. She's on 64 right now, yeah. So yeah, right now you're doing well. Just make sure, instead of standing here, you preferably want to be standing here just so you're in line of sight of that Anna.
Ah, true. True.
Little small micro adjustments in terms of positioning, which will happen naturally. Yeah, you will naturally start backing up there, but your Anna probably could have got a couple of shots on you
Yeah, so
if
that's
you
my
weren't there.
bad then. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially. It's hard to say whether or not an Anna will be able to out heal it. If that nade hit as well, potentially, but yeah, that's unfortunate. When you're high charged on Zarya, you need to make sure you stay alive. You don't want to be dying on high charge. If you can just back out while still being on high charge, it means that you can go into the next fight on like 60%, as opposed to being killed and then having to go into the next fight on like 0%. I'm talking about like charge, not ult charge.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah.
get it. Yeah.
Um
Okay, surprised I stay alive.
yeah, staying alive is like a huge priority on Zarya. To an extent, same with Diva. It's not good that you guys haven't pushed the card. That's Trace's job, by the way.
Yeah, I know it is.
It's Trace's job, but if you, for whatever reason, was on the Diva, it could very well be your job as well. It all depends on how your team wants to run that. But
Yeah.
on the Zarya, it won't often be your job. Nice jump. when I was learning how to like coach, I remember I sat in a coaching session coached by a guy who's like I think he's like 4.1K. So he's not like top 500 or anything, but he's like comfortable GM. And he was explaining to me how on Zarya you very rarely actually want to be on point. You get more value from being on like high grounds, places where your Winston can jump in and where you can like bubble that off and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I try and do.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well, to be fair. You have never really been on the ground this whole game.
Didn't actually know my monkey was there. That's my bad.
You haven't bubbled anyone in time. That's one thing that I was thinking. Even though the whole strategy of double bubble is to bubble monkey in, get ult charge, get heals, get Zarya charge. Like, remember that you don't necessarily always have to save bubbles for your monkey. You can always bubble someone else.
Yeah,
But
I
if
try and
you,
like tend to bubble Anna as well if she gets dived.
yeah, if you do that, you just need to communicate with your teammate. You just need to be like, okay, monkey, don't go in. Don't go in for another like 10 seconds because I have no bubble. But
Okay.
awareness here. Your Anna is dying. Okay, let's look back.
Get in there.
Right, so this confuses me because you literally saw, it was visible on your screen that the monkey was knocking back your Anna. But yet you still sort of... Oh, what? How did I manage to do that? Did I push that too far back?
No.
Slightly,
Shoot.
slightly. Because I'm putting it on very low speed. Yeah, so you saw, but then you turned.
And then just basically left the Anna to die.
Yeah. You didn't have any abilities for it, but dealing damage to the monkey, especially when he's purple, would pressure him and it might even cause him to disengage.
Okay.
It's good to an extent. It would have been better if you tried peeling for your Anna, in my opinion. But at the same time, it's good that instead you did something equally as valuable by playing for a trade. They killed our Anna, so you hard focused their Anna. And that might not even be something that you did specifically, but it's actually quite high level, and it's something that high level players try to do if their Anna goes down. They
Yeah,
try and
I think I did try and sort of kill the Anna because I saw the. It was like a trading backlines. I like doing the trading
Yeah.
backlines.
Yeah. That's fair. Again, very small. I feel like you could have got more impact from that bubble on your ult and monkey as well. But that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
One thing that I will say is you knew that your Anna was dead, so the fact that you're standing here in the open,
Okay.
it's I know I understand that it's natural, but if your Anna's dead, you're standing out here in the open. You're not really thinking about how you're going to get heals. Your Mercy's going to just be on the echo realistically. If you're playing around this corner and just going for right clicks and making sure that you're not engaging properly until you're actually healed. Remember, Zarya doesn't need much heals from like health packs because half of her health is like shield anyway. It will go up. So there's a health pack here. Remember that. There's a health pack here. Remember that. And this it will be a longer rotation into the fight. But remember, there's also a health pack here. And you can technically be
Okay.
playing around all of those. I think it might be... If you were to rotate to the highest health pack, it would be easier to retake this high ground as well. But just be aware of how long your downtime will be. You'll be out of the fight for a while. I reckon your team can still win this without you though, so yeah. And you got rest. It's all good. That was a nice rest. so lucky the Echo kept shooting at you. Because that would have been a poor bubble, but then they just threw it, to be fair.
Yeah. And then we just get rolled over because ults.
Yeah. One thing you need to realize is losses like that, teamfight losses like that, fine. Because that's literally the point of their comp. It's around playing for ults, so when they pop Monkey and like Ana ult, like realistically the fight is lost anyway. It's fine. It's good that nobody used any ults on your side. So it at least allows us to be oh wait, did we use Ana ult?
Yeah, we used Nano in that fight.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate then. Nano can get oh wow, your monkey got melted. Nano can get built up very quickly. Anyway, so it's not that much of a shame. They wasted. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Your Ana was just stressing me out there. See, we already have another Nano. That's what I mean. Like, it's okay if you sort of lose that in a fight, but
If I was losing that.
I feel like your rotations are fine when you're trying to rotate to the high ground. Just remember that sometimes it's really difficult for your Ana and your Brig to rotate to the high ground together. Like, Brig's job is to help the Ana rotate to places, but sometimes it's also the off-tank's job to help Ana to rotate to places. And that's one thing that I noticed. You don't put as much consideration into your backline as you do to, like, the frontline dives. Whereas Zarya has to be playing, like, almost midfielder role in the sense that she helps out, like, both sides.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. Right now, I wouldn't really say isolated, but backline's taking pressure and you're still only focusing on frontline.
Okay, I need to hold the backline more.
Sorry?
Okay, so I need to hold the backline more. That's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. It would be really helpful. It's similar with Diva. Diva has a similar role, but I feel like Diva's utility is a lot easier to switch between frontline and backline. So Zarya, you
Yeah.
have to be extra careful about your positioning because you need to sort of be in range to deal damage and also in range to bubble monkey when he's diving. Because if you think about it this way, if your monkey dives in and you bubble him, there will be no point if Ana can't hard pocket him. So we need to actually make sure that the Ana is set up before you even think about the dives. So Ana is really the priority when it comes to like positioning, as opposed to trying to get picks or dives. Because the double bubble dive is not you're not intending to get picks from that dive. You're intending to get ult charge. You're intending to get charged. If you get picks on the double bubble dive, then that's just a bonus. And obviously like that changes when we have Nano. I guess to an extent, like that is where we're trying to actually get the picks on the dive. But when it's like dry dives, no ults, just abilities being put into the dives, then I wouldn't really expect you to consistently get picks on it anyway. So yeah, I'm just trying to emphasize the point. Like we need to be trying to help the Ana rotate.
Okay, that's cool.
It will make the fights a lot easier. Trust me. Like you'll notice it straight away. Feel like you're gonna die here. You tend to die on high charge quite a lot, but you also tend to be the last person on your team alive. So I don't know. It's weird. Either faster disengagements or I've also noticed that you haven't popped a grab yet.
Yeah, because we were. I just can't find a position to sort of. I think I grabbed here in this fight. I can't really sort of find a position. I can't. Not getting into the position where I grab.
See, this would have been a nice grab. Okay. I was gonna say it would have been a nice grab if you were like a higher charge. Your grab worked anyway, so like that was a fine grab. Like forcing a grab is fine. Like a grab that gets an Ana and an Ash, like that's a big grab because you'll kill both of them, sort of thing. Whereas like grabbing 6 people or grabbing 4 people, let's say you grab the monkey, you grab the Zarya, you grab the Anna, and you grab the Ashe. That might actually be a worse grab. People will get in the way. There's a form of body blocking as well. People will be able to drop shields. People will be able to bubble people.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot
Especially without
harder.
that combo. If there's no combo as well, it's a lot harder.
Yeah. Yeah, because you literally have to rely on being high charge and sort of right clicking people unless you want to hard focus one and just secure one. But yeah, that grab was fine. Held on to it for a bit long. That grab was fine. I don't think you really struggle to get high charge in general.
Nah.
Even saying that though, some of the bubbles could be better. Like you get tons and tons of value from bubbling a brig. That's one thing I'll say. When I'm on
Really?
brig, I actually really like playing bubbles.
Okay.
And I'm talking about like obviously not when she's peeling for the Anna, not when she's playing passive. But you notice, okay, right. I don't know if it's still a bit before. I'm gonna put it from the brig's perspective here for this fight. Like, our brig is in front of their tanks, and she will take damage. She
Yeah.
100% takes damage. That's already 40 charge for you there. And then now that she's rallied, she's going to engage again, which means that she's gonna be taking more damage again. See, do you notice how the Zarya's attention automatically switched to the brig because she was like the biggest threat? And that's what I mean when I say you actually get surprising amounts of value from bubbling brigs. And also it makes it basically guarantees her to win the fight because she's one of the strongest brawlers in the game.
Yeah. I tend to try and bubble people like Tracer and Echo a bit more than like the bubble the backline.
Yeah. It makes sense. Like even those are fine. Like bubbling anyone is fine if they're taking damage. As long as you get their charge and it to an extent helps them with their sort of like one-on-one fight that they're trying to take in that moment in time. But I'm just saying, like, I noticed, like, very obviously there was a big opportunity to bubble the brig there, and you sort of never did it. So I was just like, okay, cool. Brig is quite a high value bubble in some situations. And I play a lot of brig as well.
Yeah, fair enough. I did call the monkey that I didn't have bubble,
Okay.
but we still
Yeah,
engaged.
that's monkey's fault. Oh, that's
That's
unfortunate.
unlucky. Yeah.
That is so
That does
unlucky.
happen a lot. Actually.
Yeah. No, it happens. It really does.
Yeah. Like with most projectile characters, like you fire a projectile because you don't expect the animator
Yeah.
to sleep. It's not, you're not thinking the animator to sleep, you're just thinking to protect yourself and boot the monkey away.
Yeah. I feel like you could have grabbed the Zarya and the Mercy there as well, to be fair, but it's just like, because
I was thinking that, but the both DPS died, and I decided not to.
I'm pretty sure you've only used one grab.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue.
Probably wasn't the best grab actually, that one.
I understand the thought process, but it just annoys me the fact that you held on to it for so long and then you used it in that way.
Yeah. And then we go Diva.
For the recontest.
Yeah.
Two people on card is fine. The thing I find about Gib is I think it's a lot easier to defend on than it is to attack.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you see this, but Gibraltar, in my opinion, is the only map where I feel like I get held just as frequently on first point, second point, and third point. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily think it's the easiest. Like there's one point that's easier to hold on than any other one. Like for example, Numbani. Numbani, I don't think I've ever been held second point Numbani in my life. Whereas I
Yeah,
think I've been held third point Numbani a lot in my lifetime. Whereas like I don't feel like you get that with Gib. Gib is like I've been
quite
held
balanced.
every single point in Gib
Yeah, I'd
so
say
many
like
times.
it's harder to attack sort of second point initially, but when you sort of when you
Yeah,
finally cracked it, it's
once
easy
you
to finish.
pass like the ship, it's
Yeah,
easy. That ship is like really hard because the high ground is so OP as well. Like high ground control is so important on second point in this map. It's really important on first point in this map as well. This third point, this high ground never really gets utilized. This high ground right at the back there, you get
yeah,
quite a nice sight line from that. You can see quite a lot. So I remember when Widow was popping, like Widow, this is quite a good Widow point. But yeah. But other than that, this point is quite brawly. Like oftentimes you'll see teams switch to brawl for this point in particular because this little fight here is quite nice for like a Ryan Lucio comp where it's quite compact. Yeah, if they push to the side, then they're in an even more compact zone, which is good for brawl. If they push in there, you're in an even more compact zone, which is good for brawl. And then there's a really long rotation back to like any form of proper safety. So that's why brawl gets played quite a lot here on this third point. But
yeah,
as I guess you're an off tank, you can still call shots. I don't know how your team is set up. But
yeah. I'm like the IGL.
oh really?
Yeah, I'd say pretty much everything most of the time.
Then yeah, it might even be worth calling to switch to the brawl for this final point. But before you do that, obviously look at the ults that we have.
Mm.
If we're close to Nano, you can still switch to brawl, but just keep the Ana. If we're close to a grab, you can still switch to brawl, but then keep the Zarya. So it's nice to like make some forms of variations. Even to an extent, if we're close to rally, we can even Lucio Brig rally if there's barely any time on the clock.
Yeah,
I've seen Tracer get run on Brawl as well, even though I don't particularly like it. Like, I don't think you get as much value. But the thing about Tracer is like good on every single map. On
yeah.
like
Trace is the most versatile and flexible hero I
yeah,
find.
there's not a single bad Tracer map. It's kind of stupid, but
Yeah,
yeah, we go for it.
Do something.
Wasn't a terrible push there. God, these stupid scrim breaks, like. Oh wait, okay, it started. I didn't even notice it started. Okay, cool. Right, nothing much has happened. Your echo is popping. What?
I think she
um,
just fired stickies from somewhere,
yeah.
probably
Don't
into
even
there, and
have a
then that gave
mercy.
Anna an
I would
extra
have thought that
charge.
was damage boosted or something.
She just fired stickies into there, and Anna managed to heal up. Anna got same charge.
Yeah. Their Anna's now 25% to a nano now. But, God, imagine if that was damage boosted. She'd be like
Jesus.
36, 38 to ult right now in the first 8 seconds. Oh, that was so big.
We could have engaged on that actually.
If that nade was coordinated with the stickies, then that would have been serious damage and we could have literally just sped onto them. I say speed onto them, we don't have a Lucio, but you know what I mean, like engage
Yeah.
onto them, into onto them. Did you watch my entire coaching session before, by the way, the one that I sent to you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so you know about how I said sometimes you boost to engage on Diva,
Yeah, I
and I
didn't
feel
need to
like you
use
do
boost
that.
for that.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's just unnecessary. But yeah.
And then I couldn't get out.
6 HP. You better just stay in there, to be fair. You don't want to engage out on 6 HP because you'll definitely take damage. It was good that your Diva, Anna sort of peeked you for that, but
Yeah, no, use boost. Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't have him to get out, so I used him to go in.
The thing I don't really like about D.Va running D.Va into double bubble is you can't defense matrix. Um, Monkey, you can't defense matrix. Is the majority of what Zarya can bring. You can't
Mm.
defense matrix. The Brig either. So you're literally relying on eating nades and eating dynamites. In my opinion, if you run D.Va against double bubble, you don't dive at all. Your monkey and your echo and your tracer are the dive, and you're a part of the backline. So I would literally play a extremely passive style of play, and literally just hug our supports. You say
Okay.
that your IGL, which might make things difficult because you might not be able to see everything if you're not
Yeah.
frontlining. But yeah, a passive style of play is more fitting, just in considering what they're running, basically considering the comp that they're running.
Okay, yeah.
Defense like DMing your okay, you don't want to take that. Yeah, you die that. You never really want to like DM your monkey on the engagements because realistically, all you're gonna DM is like the sleep or the nade or the like no, okay, the Ash won't try and dynamite your monkey, but like it's very really you're only protecting him from the Ana, so it's like is there really a point when really you can just be protecting your own backline? Booping the monkey away when he's like damaging your Ana, for example. Doing little micro plays like that will help a lot. And you're stacking here and protecting your supports now. This is what I feel like you should try and do for the whole game.
Okay.
Because you notice that no one's dying? That should have... Okay, that's unfortunate. Good reactions. Those are actually good reactions. That's a nice bomb as well. I like that bomb a lot. And that was a safe rematch. Nice angle. See, yeah, that was a good E. I have no issue with this. Stacking on the dive during a cleanup. When we're up 2, that's when you can sort of engage, okay? So what you need to do is make sure we're protecting our backline. The second their backline goes down before ours, that's when we can sort of engage because we win that fight 100% of the time.
Okay. And what happens if our backline goes down before theirs?
If our backline goes down before theirs, again, pretty much lost fight. But like I said, if you have 3 people in the back line, one being a Brig, one being a D.Va, it's a lot harder to kill the Ana.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
Because D.Va has more peel than Zarya.
D.Va has more peel than Zarya. Brig has a lot of peel as it is. Yeah. You're sort of doing it naturally now. But you should have been doing this for first point, in my opinion. Setting up.
I saw the Tracer was being really aggressive and trying to push it, and I was like, that's my job.
Yeah. That wasn't bad. I feel like you're too happy to pop defense matrix though. Like when she's putting little bursts of damage into you, she's probably trying to bait the DM in the first place. So I feel like it's unlike realistically a Tracer's not going to 2-clip you. You know?
No.
So as long as you're playing by your support, I don't even think it's worth trying to DM the Tracer. Unless the Tracer's focusing your support. That's when it's worth it. Because she can 1-clip them.
Yeah.
But if
when
she's trying to
focusing me,
focus you, there's no point in using the DM. Just try and burst her down and get her to recall. Because she probably won't second engage after the recall anyway.
yeah.
That was a nice primal from your monkey.
Yeah, Monkey was good. And then, yeah, because I left our supports to go and help with the engage. Should I have done that or should I have stayed with them?
Might have to watch it back. think based on where you're set up, there's no need. I think there's no need to engage.
Okay.
Um,
So I should have stayed with them.
yeah. I think it was poor that nobody knew where the Tracer was. Kind of weird that she managed to actually hard engage onto the back line like that. Try and be aware of who's alive and who's dead, but technically again that's like main support's job, calling one up, one down, like ult track and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
That was nice. Okay, right. You stood behind her and DM'd. You should stand in front of her and DM. Even if you mistime the DM, then the bullets will hit you and not your Ana.
Ah, true.
Body
Okay.
blocking.
Yeah.
Very small micro. That's what I'm best at. I'm good at noticing small, like really small details that just sort of help you get an edge. That's sort of
Yeah, I'd say it's better for sort of like 4.4, 4.5k.
yeah, because they don't make really big obvious mistakes. You sort of have to be really analytical, and you know it's something as small as that that actually dictates whole team fights in 4.5. So it's just like it's just
Yeah.
yeah. I said this before as well. When you get demec'd, I feel like you're a bit too aggressive with it. You can play passively, you can play back and shoot from afar. Because you have no damage drop off. The ult charge that you get is gonna be the exact same, and it's actually quite easy to get remec'd if you try.
Was it good going in there to sort of look to eat the grab or not? Or should I just play passive?
To be honest, I would say look to eat the grab. I would say look to eat the grab.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing.
Feedback's really weird. Because you know, there are certain ranks where I would say, oh, it's best to play passive because like if a silver tried to do it, let's say, I wouldn't necessarily think that they're capable of it. But then like if a diamond says it, it's kind of half and half because it's like, okay, I know that you're either gonna be good with the game sense stuff or either gonna be good with the mechanics and
Oh, you should see my montages. They're all eating grabs, pulse bombs, blizzards, dragons.
Yeah, yeah.
It's either like a 4k bomb or I eat a grab. That's those two clips.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's sort of up to you. If you think you're capable of doing it, you're capable of doing it.
100%.
Whereas like
100%.
the 4-5s, the IL coach will always try and eat that grab. Like there are some divas that I see eating like 4 or 5 grabs of scrim, and I'm thinking like how how do you do that? And
Yeah,
there was
there was one game where I ate like 6 grabs in a scrim.
my god.
And like there's I just had a negative game. It was awesome.
I have a friend called Jericho. When he's like, I think he peaked at like top 25 last season or something like that. And when Diva Mech like Remech was busted, there was a scrim where he killed like 8 or something like that with Remech in one scrim. And it was just, oh man, that was weird.
That's what I want to do.
He's getting like double kills, triple kills. I know, but it's honestly not even worth it. But he's just really good at it. He's really, really good at it. So I just.
Fair enough.
How was the. Actually, no, I'll. Just because I don't want this recording to be that long, I'll ask you this question after I finish with this map. But. That's nice. You guys are sort of stacking, playing more brawly. You know what? Have you know 6-man, the Lee Jankon?
Yeah. Yeah.
6-man's good on this point as well.
On Lee Shang. Yeah.
And the thing about 6-man on this point is you don't need to change much about the comp that you already have.
We just swap the supports and swap Soldier for Reaper.
Literally, yeah. But we're close to the support ult, so it wouldn't be worth the switch now. A Reaper would really be nice right now on this point. Might be a bit hard to contest the Ashe, but like it would allow you
Lucio
to
and I
have more
can
brawl
dive that.
potential.
It's Lucio and my job, isn't it, to contest high ground?
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the context again. Because you don't want to be splitting, you still want to be brawling, you still want to be all together. But you just need to exploit the fact that you guys are the vertical characters. Um, on 6-man, the beautiful thing about it is everyone has some form of verticality other than like Tracer. Uh,
Moira.
like Moira can fade jump, but it's not reliable.
Yeah,
It's not, I wouldn't rely on that.
I don't trust Ginger to fade jump. I'm not being honest. I
I'm
don't
like,
think you know what a fade jump is.
bro, I honestly, I'm like a 3-8 peak, so I'm like decent, and I wouldn't be able to fade jump on most points. I'm a brig main. I'm a brig main that scrimmed like, what? I'm a 3-8 peak brig main, which realistically means I can scrim like 4-2, 4-3,
Yeah.
and I can't shoot like bash jump on a lot of points. And even though no, I'm technically a Lucio main, but like I play Lucio and Brig as frequently as each other. So
Yeah,
it's
fair
just
enough.
like, yeah, and sometimes the jumps and stuff. Like that's how I can tell like I'm never touching GM. I'm never touching GM because like I'm just not mechanically good enough for it. But
Yeah.
um
Our flex support's a Baptiste one trick pretty much. He's never played Ana.
cringe.
Yeah. He's hit like 3-6, I think, playing
Nice.
Bap.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not hard. I'm joking. Nah. And- So because Double Bubble has a lot of big emphasis on rotations, you would want to early Diva Bomb on their rotation here.
I still know this Tracer's behind us though, so I'm like really annoyed about that.
You did well there. That was a really nice DM. Oh no, she got packed, but you didn't see where she was. Oh my,
I should just reset.
why? Yeah, and because the Diva Bomb was late because you were distracted during the rotation. I do
Yeah.
think it was worth. It was worth
Okay.
you trying to pull for your Tracer. In my opinion, when I look back to the main fight, I would just choose not to Diva Bomb there. You could probably get a more valuable Diva Bomb later down in the line.
Okay. Fair enough.
I noticed that your Ana's always low. Like, where is your break? Oh, spawn. Ana naded herself. When there's a health back here. Oh no. Oh. And the Brig ain't even with her, Ana. She did well to drop down early. And I feel like your reaction to the dive was fine there as well. I feel like in scrims, I know people will probably say, "Oh, it doesn't matter." But in scrims, I feel like it's best to actually try and contest the point where you want it, because there's no point in actually like practicing for a loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like we should have forced a recontest. I don't like when people say it's only a scrim, it's only a scrim. But I preferably want a down card here. Nice. My God, we have a message from Battle Team now.